Hey guys, and welcome to Quality Shot. I'm really excited to be joined by Umaid Asif, PSL 5 winner with the Karachi Kings as well. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you. How about you?
Alhamdulillah, all good, all good. You said you've just been doing some shoots for the PSL, so that's cool. We're looking forward to that. Only in, I think, 10 days, isn't it? 10 days, I think.
Yeah, yeah, it's starting 20th, so the shoots will be, I think, out before that.
Nice. Look forward to seeing them. Before we go on to a little bit about your the PSL now, and also a few other things like currently. Do you want to tell people who are not that aware of your cricket journey, like how did you get into cricket, and how's your journey been?
Uh, every kid in Pakistan, is passionate about cricket, especially when he's a 90s kid. So I saw the world, I was a little kid when Pakistan won the World Cup in 92. So the passion started there. uh, Slowly and gradually, school, cricket, and then I came to Lahore for, you know, my A levels and then the further studies. But I got into cricket in school, in college as well. I was, you know, actually I was a batsman back then, so I just used to bat. And when my height grew up, and I started bowling. Uh, so the thing is, I wanted to, do something for my country. So it started when we lost a quarterfinal to India in '96, and then '99 World Cup final, and I was really depressed. I cried that time, and I thought to myself, I'm gonna be a cricketer. But my family thought I'm just, emotional at the moment. But it stayed in there. I started professionally in 2008 and 9. But before that, I joined club cricket in Lahore. My uncle Tahir Mughal, who recently passed away, unfortunately, to cancer. He played for Sialkot Stallions, and I was impressed by him as well. So went with him to the dugout of Sialkot Stallions and was more impressed. So that kept growing inside me. And I asked him, I want to play cricket, and would you see me bowl? He called me to the club where he practiced, and when I bowled my first few deliveries, he was shocked that I have the talent to represent Pakistan and all. So he asked me to join the club in Lahore. Then I started uh, playing cricket in Lahore from Nawab Cricket Club. From there, I didn't know what to do. Normally players don't know when they join the club. They don't know how to train and how to get to the next step. So I just kept on searching. The first 2 years were really slow, but you need to keep on going to reach your goal. Third year. That was the turning point, you can say, because I worked harder in those days. And Wapda coaches came to see another guy, but they spotted me. So they called me to the trials, and they were impressed, and they hired me in Wapda. That was my first professional sports team. So from there on, everything's on paper, on
So
record.
nice. Sorry to hear about the passing of your
Yeah,
uncle. No,
yeah,
yeah, really sorry to hear about that. And it's funny, my grandmother, my nanny, she's grateful she's still alive, but she's from Sialkot, so she tells me a lot of stories about that. I've never been there myself. Um,
right.
I'm A lot of my family's from Lahore, so I visited a couple of December 2018 actually, but I haven't been since. So,
Right.
but I've always wanted to go to Sialkot. So, what was it like growing up in Sialkot?
Actually, I grew up in Daska. It's around 24 kilometers from Sialkot. So it's between Gujranwala and Sialkot, and it was all right. I mean, it was just like every other kid growing up in the family. We had a joint family system, so loved it. And then for higher studies, I came to Lahore and lived alone over there. Had another friend who did O levels with me. So we spent 10 years over there in a room, in 2 rooms. So so that
That
was
would
our
be fun.
student. That was our student life, and then I came into cricket, and
The rest is history. How was it?
yeah.
It must be so competitive though, cricket in Pakistan, as in because as you said, because of that '92 World Cup win as well, it probably created a huge buzz in Pakistan for people like yourself to want to get into cricket. But did you find that
Yeah.
it's very competitive, and it was, there's a lot of people wanting to do it because, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but cricket is the main sport in Pakistan, I would assume, from what I can see.
Yeah, it is. It is competitive. When I was playing club cricket, uh, I used to attack. So if I get hit for two boundaries in the over, the manager would call me out, and he'll ask me to just be the 12th man throughout the day, and I would keep looking at other bowlers and other players what they are doing. So that was a learning point. So you he used to tell me that until you become like your uncle, he doesn't give away two boundaries in 10 overs, and you give away two boundaries in the first over. I am not gonna, send you to the trials or anything. So it is competitive, especially in big cities. There are a lot of clubs competing each other. There are a lot of players. Uh, each club cricket, a club team has the domestic players in them, and it's really competitive. And the structure now PCB introduced, which PCB introduced, it's more harder for it's more competitive, to be honest. It makes you work harder, and when you work hard, you get the result.
I agree. I think it sounds like your uncle was a massive influence on you growing up, by the sounds of it. So, it's that's amazing to hear as well. And you mentioned the domestic setup in Pakistan, and I think it's been revamped recently, hasn't it? So previously it
Yeah,
was there were a lot more teams, and now I think is it six elite teams? Is it?
yeah, it's six. Yeah, it's six teams with the first and second 11.
What do you think? Do you think it's been that it's helping Pakistan, and do you think it will help cricket grow better in Pakistan?
Yeah, the transition is always difficult. It takes time. From there to this structure, the player will struggle because previously there were players who weren't used to doing fitness training. They were just there because of their experience or anything. So with this structure, you have to stay fit as well. You can there are players uh, from domestic and regional cricket who are joined now, but there are only six teams. So to have a spot in the team, you need to be at your level best.
That's really interesting. You talked about the fitness aspect as well. Has there been a lot more? Because I feel like it's even here in the UK where I am. I feel like there's been a massive emphasis on fitness more, especially in the last few years. And is that the same in Pakistan then, as you said? So I guess before people were saying, maybe it would be 80% maybe skill, like you do your cricket drills, and then maybe 20% fitness. But now they're saying it's almost sometimes it's especially in the off season where you're not playing, it's almost 60% strength and conditioning, so running, gym, fitness, and then 40% skill. Is it similar in Pakistan now as well then?
Yeah, it is similar in Pakistan. Skill can take you, if you're a batsman, it will take you to 80, but to 140, the fitness will take you from there. So same with the bowlers, the skills will get you 2-3 wickets or 4 wickets, and to get more, to bowl the same with the same speed and same threatening attitude, you have to be fit. So fitness is, I think it's a bigger part of cricket now, because there's a lot of cricket going on now. So you keep on deteriorating, and to keep that fitness level, to keep that strength inside in you, you need to keep focusing on the gym and strengthening and strength and conditioning work as well.
It seems like, I guess people realize it gives you that extra edge, isn't it? So before, as you said, you might get to 80, but if you're fitter, then you're able to get to 140, or get bigger scores, and you don't feel tired, and your body's used to it. So it's interesting, because before there was really no emphasis on it at all, but now I think there's a lot more. And even if you see like the Pakistan team at the moment, I feel that the fielding has improved a lot, not just in Pakistan but in the whole world. I think generally, like all teams domestically and also internationally, they all field a lot better, I would say. Have you found that as well? Because like before, like for example in the PSL, now you'll see people, you have on the boundary, some of the boundary fielding is amazing. You'll see people jumping over the boundary, throwing it over and throwing it to a teammate, and then jumping over and diving catches, and all of this is quite normal now, whereas before you never had that. So has there been a big push on fielding as well?
Yeah, it has, because I was talking to Dean Jones, and I just asked him we had an online session on Insta, so I asked him that any advice for the youngsters. So his reply was, batting or bowling, it's natural in you, but you need to work on your fielding, because on top level, if you score an 80 and you drop two crucial catches, you lose the game for the team. If you're getting wickets but you give away runs, that's bad for the team. So it's a team game, so you need to work on your fielding to give the edge to the team.
No, 100%. You mentioned Professor Dean Jones, and unfortunately he passed as well in September last year. What was it like working with him? Do you want to touch upon what he was like as well?
Very passionate. He was the best coach I've worked under. He had the book, but it wasn't that he was imposing his dictionary on you. He would just touch up on 2-3 tweaks during the games, because it's a short format, and he would just tell you what these are wrong and these are right, and you need to the things which we forget during the during the game. Like if it's the last ball, you need to keep on running if you hit it. Don't worry about getting run out, because you have to. If you pinch one extra run, you might win it by 1 run in the end. So these are the small little few things, and he would not let the players who are not playing in their first 11, he will not let them get demotivated, because he gave them the same emphasis as the other players, so they stayed motivated.
He sounds like a fantastic character, and also personality. So that's amazing, and I think you can probably tell from the reception he got, after surprisingly passing away. Everyone only had good things to say about him. So I think I can see why from what you're saying as well. Do you think, him passing as well, that after that it motivated you guys even more for that PSL 5 victory to kind of go on and do it for him, or was it just it added that little bit extra?
Yeah, it did add a bit extra, but he motivated us already, before the playoffs, and he was really looking forward to the playoffs, because he told us, I believe you're gonna win this. You guys gonna win this. So, and with his unfortunate demise, we got more motivated. We wanted to do it for him and for his family, for all they have done. So we had that extra motivation to win it, and in the end, the result was in our favor.
And just touching upon that final, so you had a fantastic performance in there, and obviously you came in, and I think honestly, really, if I watched the game live and then also I reviewed it after, and I looked at the game and I thought, the 2 wickets you got of Tamim Iqbal, who's a fantastic player, and Fakhar Zaman, the 2 openers, you removed both of them in the same over, which had a massive effect on the game, a huge impact. And you obviously did your, which is now your trademark celebration with your Iron Man shirt. Is your favorite Avenger? Talk to me about that. Where's that come from?
Yeah, it is my favorite Avenger. So it's about, it's the actually the hardships you go through life. You can't just play victim to it, and you have to come out of it. And it's I've said that before in interviews. His story is pretty similar, because he was kidnapped and how he came out of there and with the hardship, and he never gave up and kept on going. It applies to every single human being who's working hard, who is a superhero to his family or whoever looks up to him, and that motivates him and keeps him going. So that the celebration portrays that. So I had the skins with me, the compression with me, and so after a few games in the first PSL I played, uh, I thought I should celebrate it as well. I should have a celebration, and it just clicked, and I did it, and it got famous.
No, it's a very unique celebration, and well said as well. I think it's got good meaning to it. It's interesting because as a Pakistan fan, like obviously you see like people like Hassan Ali and Shaheen, they've all got their very signature celebrations, and you've got your own as well, which is amazing. And I think Pakistan is probably maybe the Pakistan team and the PSL. There's not many players that do celebrations, but it's very unique, I think, to Pakistan. But it's very what's the word? It shows emotion, right? But in a positive way.
Yeah.
And I think it's really fun, and people can relate to it. And here in the UK as well, when the World Cup happened, the Champions Trophy, when Pakistan won the Champions Trophy here in the UK, people who weren't Pakistan fans were doing the Hassan Ali celebration because he performed really well, right? And so it shows that the kids and the younger kids, it has a very good influence on them. So it's fun, and I think people pick up on it, which is quite cool. So I look forward to seeing your celebration this year as well, hopefully lots of times.
Inshallah.
Yeah. How was the Lahore facing Lahore Qalandars in the final? It was actually the team I was supporting, so but I'll let you off because happy to be and you did really well. But it was a bit strange because obviously you see just as a Pakistan fan, I just want the PSL to go well and to be a good event, and so I support Lahore because it's my hometown. But really, as long as it's a good final, I'm happy. But was the fact that it was Karachi versus Lahore, was it a bit of a special rivalry? Did it have a little bit extra to it, or was it more just it's a final, it's a big game anyway?
Actually, I take it, I take every game as a final. I don't just look at the opposition. I just look at, I just plan according to the players. So for me, it was just another final. But for the Karachi fans and Karachi owners and everyone, playing, it was like a rivalry, proper rivalry. We should not lose to Lahore because of all the rivalry going on from very long. You could see it on the social media. So if you take on the pressure of that, you use 50% of your brain to that, you lose it. So you can't, your chances to perform go down. But if you'll just take it out and take it as another final, your chances to perform well will be higher. So I just took it like that and did my 100%.
That's a very good outlook to have, I think, 100%. And how is it playing with all these? Obviously, you're playing with all these Pakistani players as well, all very talented, and then you have the overseas players coming in. And was it? I'm assuming it's a new experience having these experienced, talented international players coming over. Some of them, obviously, are very good T20 players who have come through. Some of them are international players as well. How did you find it? How did you find, I guess, integrating them into the team, and also did you manage to learn little bits from different people and get a different insight into them as well?
Yeah, obviously, when you spend time with anyone, you learn a few things. So even with Peshawar for the first 2 years, I learned Hello.
Oh, you're back. You're back. So you're saying with Peshawar in the first 2 seasons?
Yeah, I was with Peshawar for first 2 seasons, and then to Karachi. So every person is different. It's every player is different. You learn different things from everyone. But main thing is the confidence you gain. Playing with them, thinking. It's the only difference in that level and the domestic level is the confidence level, because the skill levels, our skill levels and talent level is really high in Pakistan. The only difference is that confidence. You would see New Zealand players there. There's I don't think their skill level is higher than us. It's just their confidence from the board or whatever. They gained they gave the players the confidence. So even if they what do you say, did not perform well in few games or series, they weren't dropped. So that's the difference. So with our players, uh, the way we came up, uh, we do get mentally strong, but that confidence level is not there. That confidence you get from talking to those international players and our own legends, Wasim Bhai, Akram Bhai, and all the senior playing in the international team. So you gain that confidence, and you think about yourself that yeah, I can perform in that level as well.
Okay, that's interesting. How was it you mentioned Wasim Akram? And I'm going to have to ask you because I think everyone asks me about, they say he's such an incredible player. I think every Pakistani will say that he had a massive influence on them in some shape or form. What's he like, though, to be coached under? Is it almost like you're similar to Dean Jones, that you're just soaking knowledge from him and, you're being a bit of a sponge, especially as you're bowling all rounder as well, so you're trying to pick up things from him?
Yeah, if you're playing under Wasim Akram and you don't learn anything, it's your loss. So with Wasim Bhai, what a character he is. Even on the field, off the field, he's a great guy to talk to. You keep on learning different things about every single aspect of the game. He'll be there to guide you. And they both, Dean Jones and Wasim Akram, both uh, have the match. They have won World Cups, so they have the championship mindset. How to win championship, they know that, and that's what they transformed into us.
Does he still have a bowl in the net sometimes with you guys?
And no, he just asked us to do it.
He just sits back now and relaxes.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. I'm
Yeah.
gonna ask you a question. It doesn't necessarily need to be the best player you've played with, but who's the most talented player that you've played with, that you've seen and you've thought to yourself, wow, they may not have ended up being a top player. It could just be someone that you've seen and thought, I think they're going to do fantastic things.
You talking about PSL or just domestic?
Just in general, yeah, domestically or PSL.
I can't name a few at the moment. Suhaib Maqsood was one. When I played with him, we were in the same team in Wabda together. He didn't do justice to his talent and ability. And who else? There, I can think of saying these things to 2-3 players, but I don't remember. I can't remember their name right now.
They can have performed well. I mean, is Babar Azam someone who's there?
Obviously, Babar is world class. We played club cricket together, and he really has worked hard. He can, if you will let him bat for 24 hours, he will do it. He's that kind of a guy. He's really hardworking, and he keeps on learning, and you can see it from his batting as well. So Babar is, he's at the top right now.
Yeah, it's interesting that you said about working hard, and I think you mentioned it before. Where you said that, you know, players talent only gets you so far. And so maybe someone, for example, like Babar Azam, and you know firsthand. So it sounds like he has talent, but he's constantly working, and that's why he's got to where he's got, and he's continuing to try to. And it's interesting because he's the same age as me, and also I don't play. I only play local club cricket, but you know, I can relate to him a little bit because he's a similar age, and so I kind of think to myself, oh, you know, what's his mindset like? Yeah, as in, is he? What do you think? He's now Pakistan captain in all three formats. What's he like as a character? Is he a very, you know, is he a leader on the field? Because obviously for Karachi, Imad Wasim was the captain. But is he another leader? He's one of the leaders of the group, is he?
Yeah, he is. You could see it from his captaincy. You know, in international games, he tries to win it for you. And what I've seen of him in the captaincy, I liked it. You know, he's very laid back and he lets the bowlers do things, and he trusts his team and tries to perform himself and tries to lead the team as well.
No, I agree. So you're back with Peshawar, aren't you, for PSL 6?
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah. I had a look at a very talented team. I mean, obviously they've got Hassan Ali, who's playing at the moment for Pakistan, and South Africa. Kamran Akmal, Liam Livingstone's had a very good BBL English player who we're quite familiar with here. And then, you know, I mean, there's Mujib, a fantastic Afghanistani spinner, Ravi Papara, Wahab Riaz, David Miller. I mean, there's so many fantastic players in it. Shoaib Malik, obviously incredible. How do you think you guys are going to do this year?
I think we have a championship team right now in this PSL. We have a proper batting, top six. We even have Sherfain Rutherford as an overseas as well. She's a really good striker of the ball. And we got a lot of bowling options as well. So even our bench strength is really strong. So I think we have a really good chance to win the championship.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even name all of them because there's so many. I've forgotten Imam Al Haq, you know, Sakim Mahmood from here as well. I mean, you guys have got a very, very, as you said, a talented squad, I think. So it'll be exciting, and not long to go as well. So can't wait. What was your? Have you seen any of the T10? Did you watch any of the T10 Abu Dhabi League?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. What did you think?
I think the boundary should be longer for T10.
As a bouldering all-rounder, is that why?
Yeah.
No, I agree with you. I'm a batsman, but I agree with you. But you know that they're talking about potentially it could be in the Olympics, the T10 format, because it's quite short.
Exactly.
So do you think it would be, do you think you'd be happy with that format being in the Olympics because it's international players and potentially it will help cricket grow globally, do you think?
Yeah, I think I wanted a cricket in Olympics from a very long time. And I thought in 2020 Olympics, cricket might be there. Excuse me. But let's see where it goes. It is the shortest format, and hopefully it gets a spot in the Olympics.
Hopefully, fingers crossed. And Pakistan did really well, I thought, in the Test series against South Africa. They performed really well. And there's some I thought Hassan Ali performed really well. Coming back, and he played domestically. Have you played with him before? You have.
Yeah. We played for Sialkot Stallion in 2015 together.
Nice. Okay. What was he in 2015? Okay, so I think that would have been just before he started playing for Pakistan, right? I think just before.
Yeah.
What was he like when you were playing with him? Did you think, he's someone who's going to perform really well for Pakistan? What was he like back then?
Even back then, he's a fighter. His hunger to perform has grown. So you can see it in the Test series as well. Even in the domestic, he was appointed captain for Central Punjab, and he did really well. He looked really hungry and to make a comeback. So that's the main part of Hassan Ali. I think the aggression and the hunger is the main part, which makes him Hassan Ali.
Nice. And if you say you're now established, alhamdulillah, you've won the PSL, you've been playing cricket at a very high level for quite some time. If you had advice for someone coming up, especially in Pakistan or even anywhere in the world who's younger and they're wanting to play at the level that you are at now, what advice would you give to them as a bowling all-rounder? What would you say?
I would just give them a general advice as to become a professional cricketer or athlete. You need to be persistent. You need to be consistent, and perseverance is the key. You need to keep on going. If you have a goal, just keep on going. You can go slow, or even you can take a break, but you need to keep on going towards it. The hardships in life, they are just a test from above to check if you are you have the ability to go to the next level. So I think it's that. So if you will give up in between, you will never reach your goals. So you need to keep on going and keep on trying and keep on working hard.
Very well said. And what's your plans for 2021? Do you have ambitions for the rest of the year? Are there some things that you want to tick off?
2021. I always look for an Umrah for every year.
That's
since
very
I
good.
Went for Umrah, I went for Umrah in 2019, and I just decided that I'm gonna try to go every year. That's always been there, and other than that, I'm just looking forward to PSL and hoping to perform really well. And after that, we'll see what I can achieve.
Inshallah, I look forward to seeing you out. Then lastly, the PSL is starting in February, and it's now been, so it's going to be the 6th edition. So in the 5 years it's been happening, and now coming to the 6th year, have you seen Pakistan domestic cricket improve? Do you think it's helped domestically with the younger players getting experience from top players in Pakistan and also internationally? Do you think it's had a positive impact domestically as well?
Yeah, PSL has had a huge impact on our domestic players. Previously we had a really huge gap in international and the domestic, but now with the PSL in between, you get to taste what it's like in international. So as I talked about earlier about confidence, you gain confidence, and when you play there amongst the international players, top coaches, and you get to learn a few things, you get to have faith in yourself that I can do it.
No, very well said. And sorry, last, I completely forgot to ask you, when you were growing up, who was your hero, or who were you inspired by?
What do you think?
Wasim Akram, is it? Imran Khan.
Imran Khan.
Yes. Actually, of course, because he was an all-rounder like you as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. With him, it was the way of even what he did after cricket. He wanted to, do good things for Pakistan. That's what I have aimed as well. So that's why I started cricket, so I can, reach a certain level. And the best celebrity in Pakistan are cricketers. So I could be, do whatever, be famous and kind of do some charity and charity work for the people. Whatever I can, achieve.
Wow, no, that's amazing. That's really good to hear, and hopefully, I'm sure people are very grateful for it as well. But yeah, Imran Khan. I mean, I should have guessed that. That's I can see why. I can see why it's him as well. And I mean, is he he must be your all-time favorite player then?
All time, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Did you try and model his action when you were younger?
Not his action. just tried to imitate him at times, but uh, I try. I used to listen to commentary, and I tried, the way they talked about being the shoulder, hip, and the ankle in same line, and tried to, they talked about Abdul Razak being one of the proper in these biomechanic things. So even Shahid Nazir, and I tried to model my action with Razak Bhai and Shahid Bhai. So it's a kind of mixture.
Wow, now that's really interesting. You talk about the biomechanics as well. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for being on. Is there anything you want to touch upon before we finish?
Yeah, I already said a few things to our youngsters. Then we need to keep Pakistan first in everything. There we are lacking the patriotism we had before in Pakistan. So just think about Pakistan first, and then later on yourself.
100%. Very well said. I couldn't agree more with you. So inshallah, hopefully you have a fantastic PSL as well. And maybe we can catch up
Inshallah.
later on after as well at some point. But good luck as well. I hope it all goes smoothly and it goes successfully. And yeah, hopefully Pakistan cricket continues to thrive and hopefully keeps on improving and as well. So stay safe as well. Thank you very much for being on. I really appreciate it. You taking time out of your day as well, and all the best.
Thank you very much.
No